Nutritionist Diana Steele joins us now. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
And she is here to answer your questions. So why don't we get to it? We have Todd from Vancouver on the line. Hi, Todd.
Hi there.
I understand you have a question for Diana about weight training.
I do indeed. Hi, Diana. How you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, it's regarding weight training, post-training protein powders. I tend to have a protein shake after my training sessions, and I just want to know if there actually is a tangible difference or a difference between whey protein powder and protein powder isolate, whey isolate.
Yes. So what you're trying to do is get a good source of protein post-exercise. So that is what you're doing with your whey protein powder. Whey protein is a complete protein. So it's from an animal source, being milk. And so it's going to have all of the amino acids. There's no limiting amino acid. And so whether it's, when you're looking at the various amino acid compounds in an isolate versus the regular, they're going to have the same sort of amino acid breakdown. What you're really looking at is the amount of protein that you're getting after exercise. And ideally, you're aiming for 20 grams of protein immediately after exercise, so within 30 to 60 minutes post-strength training. And that will give you enough protein to help replace the amino acids that have been used, sort of repair your muscle tissues and build muscle fibers so that you will have better results from your strength training. So 20 grams of protein is the key that you're looking for there. And then there's other ones too. You could do soy. There's other protein powders that they've tried to combine with other plant-based proteins to get all the amino acids. So there's nothing limiting in those. So protein powders are coming a long way.
I didn't know there were so many different kinds.
Yeah, and an isolate versus a concentrate, you want to go for an isolate rather than a concentrate just because of the way it's processed.
Okay, good to know. Thanks for your call, Todd. We appreciate it. We're going to head to Jane now in Blind Bay. What's your question for Diana, Jane?
Oh, hello, it's Jen.
Jen, sorry.
I'm asking whether there's a nutritional benefit to roasting all nuts and seeds. I already do almonds and Brazil nuts for 10 minutes at 275, but I'm particularly wondering about walnuts, pistachios, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds. Any ideas about those?
Yes. Now, of course, the seeds are going to require much less time, so you would want to go for a shorter duration and sometimes lower temperatures. But roasting your nuts and seeds makes the zinc and iron more biologically available, so we're going to be able to absorb it better. It breaks the bond that keeps those nutrients in part of the nut and seed. So, yes, roasting is a good idea. And sprouting, too, so you can soak them and sprout them.
And they're yummy. They're good.
And they're good for you. Excellent source of protein.
One Halloween, I actually separated all the seeds from the pumpkins and roasted them, and they were great. They were a really good snack.
Yeah, good for you. That takes some time. Good for you.
Yeah, it takes some time. Yeah, so I only did it once, but it was worth doing.
My kids always want to do it, but then they don't like to eat it with all the casing on it.
Okay, we have another caller now. We're heading to Surrey, and I'm sorry I didn't. Pina, hi, can you hear us?
Hi, yes, I can, thanks.
What is your question for Diana?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I was just wondering, I have a really bad throat where I'm always having to clear it constantly. Is there any type of a supplement that I can be taking to help me with that?
I am not sure. A throat like that, it can be caused by so many different things. But one thing I would really check out is your hydration level, because often mucus will be thick if you are dehydrated. So by drinking more fluids, so at least 2 to 2.5 liters of water per day, it may help to thin that mucus and you won't need to clear your throat as much. But I would also talk to your doctor and see if there's anything else that's happening if your throat is, possibly your esophageal sphincter is not clearing or closing properly.
No, I've also heard that dairy products can aggravate that sometimes. Is that true?
So that's a myth.
It is a myth. Okay.
Yeah. So, and they've done studies to compare soy milk and regular milk and other foods that looked like milk to see if there was any increase in phlegm and mucus production with dairy products, and they found that no. And in fact, what that study did find was that dehydration was linked to that. So that's where all that came from.
Good to know. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, we have Gary on the line now from Richmond. Hi, Gary.
Hello.
What is your question for Diana?
Yeah, hi. My question is, does Guyland have the same kind of health properties as eating broccoli?
Well, actually, they both are very good sources of lutein and zeaxanthin, which is the phytochemical that's very important for reducing the risk of macular degeneration, which is the leading cause of blindness in the elderly. Also has a great source of folic acid, vitamin A, so it can be very healthful. The tips of broccoli, especially when they're slightly purple on the top, have the greatest concentration of those nutrients and antioxidants. So if you're getting really sort of purplish kind of broccoli, it might be higher in nutrients than your Guyland. Guyland The stems aren't going to have as much nutrition. Their leaves and the tips of the flowers are going to be the most nutritious.
Now, is Guyland easy to find these days?
Yeah. In most grocery stores, they'll have it in bunches, sometimes beside the bok choy, and sometimes it's bagged in bunches already.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for your question, Gary. And we're going to go to Carolyn on Vancouver Island now. Hi, Carolyn.
Hello. I have recently been diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, and I've been taking a teaspoon of turmeric in water with a little honey every day to try and clear mucus, also for any inflammation. Is there anything else I can do? Is it vegan diet? Is it beneficial? Anything at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am going on to a lot of salads and juices.
Okay, so with fibrosis of the lungs, I'm not actually sure what foods would help to break that down or reduce. But if you're looking for anti-inflammatory type foods, certainly turmeric has an anti-inflammatory component and also a very potent antioxidant. And I would recommend that you also include lots of other brightly colored fruits and vegetables. So if you were following a vegetarian diet, that would be fine. Just making sure that you are also getting good sources of proteins, because you want to make sure that you are replacing all the proteins that your body is losing. So don't eliminate any of the food groups in your particular diet. And of course, the anti-inflammatory foods like fish oils from salmon and mackerel and trout are very good sources of anti-inflammation nutrients, EPA and DHA in particular. So you could add those.
Great. Thank you, Carolyn, for your question, and thank you to everyone who called today. And if you would like more information or have other nutritional questions for Diana, you can contact her at the number you see there, and head to eatingforenergy.com for lots more information. And she's also on Twitter.